All right, this is Eve Ryland with International Badass Activist.org, and I'm just going to go quickly over some history. Here is an open letter I wrote to Whitney, Ellenby, author of Autism Uncensored, pulling back the curtain, and this is in response to her Washington Post publication of a modified chapter from her book, and some of the responses that Autistics got in return. So I'm going to play this and then a couple more things, and then we're going to take a look at that article and some of the responses we did get, and then talk about some of the communications Whitney, Ellenby, and I had. I had some hope there for a moment. Was hoping I wasn't getting gaslit, but thinking this is so hardcore the case. But and then we'll go into that. This will not all air in one sitting. This will be a multi-part series. So we'll see what we get through right now. And right now we'll talk about open letter to Whitney, Ellenby. You're not an autistic ambassador. You're an autistic abuser. This is Eve Ryland with International Badass Activist.org, and I am reading an open letter to Whitney Ellenby, and that's what it's titled, Open Letter to Whitney Ellenby. I included the link here if you wish to read it, the text version. This was written by me and originally posted on March 9th, 2018. Open letter to Whitney Ellenby. You're not an autistic ambassador. You're an autistic abuser. And this message was originally sent via the contact form on the Autism Uncensored site, and then I shared it on my blog. Miss Ellenby, autistic moms of autistic kids have put the call out to stop the Hollywood tragedy narrative of NP mamas drowning out the autistic community voice. We have put out the call to stop autistic child abuse. Your book has been identified permanently in our community as harmful. The campaign to bring awareness to autistic child abuse. This book we're using to illustrate how clearly this happens, and then gets justified as love. The raw emos expressed in the story are expressions of autistic abuse. Free speech you had, free speech autistic response is what you get in return. Then the responses by you and your husband to autistic people blows my freaking mind. We keep talking about NT parent privilege, and here you are gaslighting, using intimidation techniques, listing false reports to cause autism watch lists. It's better, hold on. Listing false reports to false autism watch lists. Can you hear me now? What the fuck was that? Your flavor of autistic activism is code for autistic hate. You are not an ambassador of the autistic people. Not in any way, shape, or form. You never were. That you assume to be is offensive, and you've done great harm to the actual community. We are the ambassadors here. Parents are welcome to join us. Actual allies and actual autistic acceptance is how we're moving forward. So, thank you for giving us such an incredible platform. that showed the world what the autistic community is saying about autistic abuse. I'm not sure this is how you thought you were going to help us, but the end result is neurotypical parents of autistics are taking a stand with us. And it's time for autistic abuse glorified and exploitation for monetary gain. It's over. That you lord ADA privilege. That you lord ADA-like privilege is horrific. Unbelievably ableist in your arguments on that too. And no wonder people start hating autistics when we're young. That you and your husband consider yourselves disability advocates and then slaughter autistics with ableist slurs, hate speech, and rage. Yeah, wow. That's not the advocacy we need. That's abuse. Again. A petition against your book was created. The boycott and autistic voice against your book is being documented in the autistic history. And right now, around the world, international baby, the autistic community has banded in the shared goal to stop autistic abuse. We will be heard. We are being heard right now. And in a horrible, horrible way, Whitney Ellenby, you have helped us, and we won't be silenced again. So to be very, very, very fucking clear here, you and your husband do not represent autistic people. You do not belong as a part of our autistic community. You belong to the Hollywood version of their typical mom warriors, this cult-like behavior of Hollywood autism. Autistic mom in the house, autistic mama bear in the house. Autistic kids deserve better than the shit you're selling. No, it's time to stop abuse. The time is now. Autistic woman in the house. I'm Eve Ryland. I'm the founder of InternationalBadassActivist.org and a co-founder of the Autistic Cooperative and a member of the Autistic Union. The other day, I read an article in the Washington Post written by Whitney Ellenby, author of Autism Uncensored, Pulling Back the Curtains, where she outlines an abusive experience of her son to take him to see Ellenby. What she outlines is autistic abuse, and it needs to stop. And it's not okay to glorify it as a personal experience. It's not okay to break the rights, the human rights of your child in doing so, and abuse them and call it equal access, because what is really happening there is a lab experiment that is not justified at all. But you see, a lot of people see sensory overload from the outside, and they don't understand it from the lived experience. And people like Whitney Ellenby and her publisher, John Kohler, and her husband, who call themselves autistic ambassadors, will not listen to autistic ambassadors or autistic people or autistic youth or parents of autistics who are non-autistic. But I'm going to tell you right now, this isn't about opinions. This is about the right to humanity. This is about autistics we have the right to life. We have the right to humanity and parity and identity. We have the right to safety, support, reputation. We have the right to accuracy. And we have the right to equality. This is not about opinions. This is about violations of human rights and autistic abuse. It needs to stop now. So I, as an autistic parent of autistic and non-autistic kids, wrote this piece and dedicated it to Whitney, Ellenby. Here is a first-person lived account of what it feels like to have a meltdown. Ever had a sensory overload meltdown in the public eye? Oh God, it's hard, you know? So hard. My life in all its entirety is balanced between abilities to go out and about and then recovery. Every excursion requires a support network, intensive planning, and an exit strategy. That and knowing that my body might say hell no, even when I am saying hell yes. And the body, it wins the argument no matter what. And yes, it's frustrating and it's float. So it requires a careful balance, a trusted care partner, because oh my God, can you imagine my horror? If someone just willy-nilly took me somewhere or anywhere based on just their wants for me. Worse, in my protest, proclaiming it to be best for me. Oh no, sensory overload is not a choice or a behavior. It's a bloody meltdown. A screaming fit, and for me, triggers seizures when overload hits. And I'll have zero ability to help it. Yeah, I look ridiculous when that happens, but the pain I'm suffering, it's godly. Ungodly. And no one can see. No, because me. Yeah, it can start with the flickering of a fluorescent light. Throw in some questions and crosstalk. Oh, fuck, my brain is triggering fright. Now get a third thing processing, and oh no, I'll be done for it. I'll be done for it. Oh, I'll be done for it. So please, no one's phone, chirp, ting. My brain can't handle another thing, and I've got to get away from this. And to stim, to let my brain rest and reset and oh fuck, I'm fucked, and down I go. Sight, sound, scent, and a breeze on my skin, hammers like an ice pick in my brain, fire rockets through my nerves. First, I'm mute, and then I'm blind. Vision scattered, indecipherable. Language from another incomputable. No speak, no see, can't understand a damn thing. And still, that ice pick hits. And hits. Now someone come force me to make eye contact. Interfere with my personal space. Hold me down and force me to behave. Make me comply so we can finish this forced socialized game. The one you invented to help me grow. My systems are forced to explosion, bodies screaming and ignored. Instead, I'm taught to push the pain and compartmentalize it into my autistic brain. And there's praise, gold star, good autistic today, and I lost my trust in another human today. Because abuse. This is abuse. Autistic abuse and so much abuse. Forcing a will over another and causing pain is abuse. This is autistic abuse. You don't have to understand it. Just believe us when we say it. Respect our lived experience. Accept it. And help end autistic abuse. So I'm going to give a shout out right now to Stop the Shock. Over at the Judge Rotenberg Center, they have gotten notice today that they have to evacuate the order. There will be actions taken to remove them from the protest out there to stop the shocks of autistic and deaf and disabled people and children as therapy. We don't even allow this for our terrorists. And it's against the laws of humanity. So I just want to say, shine on your light, AU. I hear you out there, and I'm so happy because it's a shine on hope. And I see all the others, autistic and non-autistic, and we're standing together. And we're going to keep this light bright. And we're going to share hope for one another together. We can create change for a better future for all autistic. So peace out. And Whitney, Ellenby, stop violating human rights and calling it. Come on, man. No, we're done with this. And anyone else who wants to publish books like this that violate autistic human rights, we are international, baby. We're done. Thank you. Get heard, loud and proud. All right, let me drop this down. Switch over here. Where am I at? Right here. Okie dokie. That was part of the campaign and that I did towards Whitney Ellenby and communicating with her. And after this, she responded. But after this, she did respond to me in an email. During all this time, I had been emailing her all the things I had been publishing on internationalbadassactivist.org, including the ones with the quotes that were, good golly, and the messages that we got back in return from them in the beginning were so awful, and this includes Whitney Ellenby, her husband, and John Kohler from Kohler Books, the publishing house, right? So I'm trying to find that really quick, just to give you sort of an overtone. I know, just Google Whitney and that ought to pull it, right? Right, so let's see here. When this came to my attention, other autistics brought it to my attention, and it was like, what the fuck? Here we go again. Boycott the series. Another memoir right on the back? What the hell? So, petition was created out there in the autistic world on change.org by Autistics, and went out to ask for the publisher to not publish his book. And he responded to that petition in the most amazing way. But before that, Autistics were reaching out, messaging through the publisher, messages that all got sent directly to Whitney Ellenby. So she was responding, her husband was responding, at some point John Kohler was responding. This is not the right one I'm looking for. I want to find some of those early responses, their first responses, when it came to their attention that Autistics were unhappy with seeing autistic child abuse exploited and monetized, and written about in the Washington Post and given fabulous reviews, right? It's always fabulous reviews by people who should know better too. But all right, let's see. I'm looking at the headline here. Elmo Mom. This is an international badass activist. You can search hashtag Elmo Mom, and a lot of this will pop up right away. Or you can search Whitney Ellenby. It looks like I'm missing some of those tags, but good golly. It's been busy around here. So, that was a long response from her, but not the one I was looking for. I know, I have the wrong one. Elmo Dad. There we go. Elmo Dad. This is Whitney Ellenby's husband. He's responding to messages that were sent from the publisher in complaints of the book to Whitney Ellenby. And then those messages were responded, and then things just went back and forth. One of the biggest, angriest things that they had was we had an activist out there, and they went through the book and did a thread review on it, chapter by chapter, so other autistics could understand what was going on there. Because frankly speaking, most of us cannot afford to buy these books. It's not within our budget. The privilege thing. But, so this person is responding, I guess, to Caitlin, but that's not where I got these messages from. So I'm not sure who exactly they're responding to. I get these wonderful emails, and people share things with me, so I can share them with you. And this is one of those things that came my way, and it came from Whitney Ellenby's husband. I can't remember his name. I think Keith. It says, "You will not get, as you do not observe, my initial well-thought-out message to the surname Kaylin. By the way, I saw all the spam you sent me and deleted them all without looking at a word of what I'm sure was 100% garbage. Goodbye forever, ha ha ha." Oh, wow. So another one, I just looked at your blog, and yes, I put that in quotes, and they now doubt virtually all of what you say and doubt whether you are even autistic. Just an angry, hateful troll on the internet, probably Russian for that matter. Right? Where did that come from? But maybe that's just the state of the world right now. Everything terrible is Russian, and so now we're not autistic people who are Russian. All right. So, you and your small band of followers do not deserve my Whitney, and especially Zach's type or energy. You don't care at all about him as you claim to. Do not waste your time reaching out to me or her ever again. I'm now sorry I even wasted my time last night to write to you a well-reasoned message that will never sink in, as you couldn't care less about Zach or any other autistic person for that matter. Just you and your Alex Jones, which I had to ask and figure out who that was, and ew, why is he comparing us to that, like, crazy, heartless following? You cannot and should not be taken seriously by serious people. What you write and spew is truly garbage, as you do not take the time to understand humanity. I tried, but will not and cannot be successful with someone like you who is so convinced she is right and she does not look at any other side or opinion or real humanity for that reason. Fool me once, shame on you. You will never fool me twice. Okay. I have absolutely no shame for and will always be very proud of all we have done to raise a boy who has more character in one fingernail than you ever will have. KR. Alright. So we got her. Got a response. Odd response, I have to say. I'm autistic and I just cannot understand how that's appropriate response. Elmo Dad Strikes Again, and this was published. Oh, when did they publish these? They were coming so hard and faster for a while. March 6, 2018 is when this happened for a book that was released yesterday. So Elmo Dad says, let me be very clear. Without the use of any curse words, as you lose the reader, as many of your colleagues did with me. The second I see a curse word, I delete the message forever. It has no place in honest, constructive discourse. Your collective ignorance, however, has resulted in you and the rest of your small gang. They was wrong on that. The Autistic Cooperative is not the gang, and we are not small by any means. But we are autistic. I haven't met any from Russia yet, but I'll let you know when we find one, and then we'll ask them if they're a troll for you, okay? Yes, it is harassment. However, it's having the absolute opposite effect that you want it to have. The harassment by very few haters has 100% strengthened our resolve. You have all misread the book and our message of hope by making an assumption based on a small excerpt and a very slanted review. Plain and simple. Buy it, don't buy it, read it, don't read it. None of it matters to us. To you or us. You and your small gang apparently will not be able to get past your short-sighted view of our wonderful story. It's a terrific story, which resulted in the raising of a truly terrific young autistic man, and it needs to be taken whole, not piecemeal. Oddly enough, it had already been read in whole, and he was responding to the person he thought that did it, or she, because this really does sound like a she. When the movie comes out, maybe you'll understand better, and I just feel I just feel like I need a hair flip or something. It's very, when they get huffy. When the movie comes out, maybe you'll understand better. So, one up us, motherfuckers, right? Ooh. The more you push, the more we push back, and the more copies we will print. Well, don't stop pushing, people. Let's make them back that shit up. Your small gang. Ooh. We are a small gang again. It's having the exact opposite effect you desire, i.e. killing of our publication. We love autistics and all folks with disabilities. Well, ain't that special? I love autistics too. Not all of them. Some of them are assholes. Kind of like neurotypicals. It happens. There's like 170 million of us, right? I like most folks with disabilities. Again, some are assholes. That's just the nature of people. We won't get along. It's okay. Being disabled doesn't automatically mean you gotta love the whole fucking world, right? Well, I think I heard angels and hearts on that one. Because you love all autistics and people with disabilities, you are what? Fucking special? Like that's a big badge of honor? Ableist prick? Alright, which is why I find it impossible that you are all actually disabled. We will never be stopped by the internet bullies. You get the vision of King Kong on that tall building and all the planes going around. That's what I feel like with this one. But anyhow, they sign it off. Peace. Ain't that awesome? Peace. Alright, so it goes on like that for a while, some general fuck offs and things like that. But the thing that really pissed me off, one, are the reports they sent back saying, or the email that they had sent back to Autistics saying that they had been reported to federal watch lists and autistic watch lists and things like that that don't even fucking exist, right? But they made up email addresses in the BCC department. What the fuck was that, right? I don't get it. How could you ever send that out? And then on top of it, Whitney Ellenby is a civil rights lawyer or disability rights advocate lawyer, some bullshit like that. This guy is food. Not even that. Just, ugh. I'm trying to find this one email. And it looks like I sent her a message April 10th to stop autistic exploitation and abuse. There we go. Elma Mom reports autistic activist to office manager to, according to the law, an advised effort, CC's police watch at autism.com, feds, and the FBI list. This is the response back from Whitney Ellenby and her husband to Autistics taking a stand for their civil rights and to get heard. Actually, I'm going to see if I could just share this link so you can read along with me. Alright, let me see what I can find. Hold on. moment. Yeah. It's just taking a moment. This photo looks like I grab that and can screen share with you. Getting closer. I need an assistant. That just have it ready for me, yeah? I'm trying to send it to me. Alright, I think we're getting closer. Bear with me, my brain is getting a bit tired, so there'll be more stuff in. Okay, so now I can screen share that. Okay, let's jump over. We could do it. Yeah. Alrighty, so we got here Elma Mom posted text of the email and was sent. And as you can see, I just included even the private chat. So, yep, I commented on this page, and that was the page, because I was asking where did you comment to get the response back like this, because I think I don't know, for this purpose, it's going to be whatever. How about we just go with they, and then we're good all around? I'm not sure. Of any sort of identity, not really. So that's the page, and she says, when I wasn't listening to her tone police and ignored her threats, telling her she doesn't scare me, only her husband and kids, and I got that husband attacking me. Yes, I didn't ask her to delete my comment and engage me privately, nor did I check any box allowing her to engage me privately. She got my full scorn. Then she thought I cared what more she had to say. So she told me if I wanted people to listen to me, I'd watch my language. More scorn, then threats from her, including police and FBI. She had at the ready to handle all her critics. Right, so message from Whitney, Ellenby, Mom. You're entitled to your opinion, and while I would have liked to discuss this with you, I won't engage with people who curse and hurl insults because it's unprofessional and unproductive. I wish you the best and encourage you to state your opinion clearly to be heard, but avoid personal insults if you truly want to engage. I continue to do the same. An autistic activist said I told her to fuck off with tone policing me. This is where it just starts getting like, what? Did you see that movie? Just like, what? Autism, what? You just legally crossed the line with your language. You fuck off. Is that illegal? Tell someone to fuck off. What? I'm legal as fuck then. Ooh, fancy pants. I'm an attorney and had authorities ready and waiting for comments such as yours. She had them already waiting? How did she know these comments were coming? How did they know? They were already fully aware of what might be coming because they know how terrible this book is. That's what the fuck, right? What the hell are they saying there? I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but what the fuck? I have forwarded, copied, and turned over your emails, hashtag, and identity to authorities copied above. Oh, wow, she's completely autistic. I mean, she's just illiterate on technology a lot, too. Those are funny words. We're tracing your identity and location and intend to take appropriate action. Officer Manager. Please feel free to act accordingly under the law and advise me of your efforts. Thank you, Whitney. What the fuck? Did she just fucking... Office Manager, huh? Where's this person? Where's this fucking... Office Manager at Whitney? Fuck. Releasing boycott the series. Judith Newman actually had an assistant, a real assistant, she threw under the bus. You're just inventing shit. Golly. Inventing shit. Oh, and here's an image of it. So you can see. Do you see the CC on there? Police watch at autism.com. Email off at feds.com. FBI watch list at email.com. All not real email addresses, by the way. Apparently, they believe autistics are just illiterate of online ways. I mean, when you hear neurotypicals talk about this, they say we're great at, I don't know, details and data entry with computers. Never mind, we fucking invented the internet, you assholes are using. Whoa. Thanks for letting us know some of us are great at data entry. And okay. But, so, yeah. What's that? You are a lawyer, and you're not just a lawyer, you're like ADA kind of civil rights shit lawyer. Man, advocates like that, who needs enemies? So this is, okay, so this is the email itself that got sent on March 2nd. Besides, I know you won't be able to ignore the actually autistic public voices, and it would be fun in a morbid way to watch you publicly stumbling through damage control with your tone policing. Oh, shit. Bam! Well, I will see you. We will all be pointing together. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness, that's some smack. It's only just sickening and cruel that you know your son can't be helped in a world such as this and use it to your advantage, right? That's serious shit there. You can profit without repercussion outside of public criticism, which you claim you are prepared for. People will be calling CPS on you and they don't even understand how much worse it could be for him in care. You know that too. You use it as a measuring device to excuse your own abuse. The system has little issue with your abusive tactics against disabled people, and you know it. You are grateful for it. You will profit from it. I doubt you actually are prepared for the autistic voice against you, but the point is you will probably win in your own way and make me want to vomit. Sick, perverted monster that you are, your way of punishing your son for losing your career that you likely sucked at anyway. Okay. I'm seeing the Sims characters and lots of negatives. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. So, you know, truth be told, it's a lot, right? And there's even so much more than that, but But I still wanted to reach out and break through. So I sent actually Autistic Mom's Rise resulted from this interaction, and after Boycott the series and these other mom wars that are coming up. Autistic mama bears in the house. Autistic moms of autistic kids of every expression you can imagine, with abilities and disabilities that you can or can't imagine. It's not. I just don't get how they don't listen and then they decide what they don't like about the language being used to dismiss anything being said. That's what I do not like. And there was forewarning. They are fully vetted in the autistic community because they were prepared for this with fake watch list responses. How can you be prepared for this if you weren't already aware of how this would go over in the autistic community? That's what I'm trying to understand right this moment after processing that. You knew the actually autistic community would see this as abuse for what it actually is. And we could not be gaslighted into seeing it another way. We could not be gaslighted and ganked into your feels because we don't think like you. We don't think like other neurotypicals. Those tactics don't work. We see them as patterns and plays and behaviors. And the ridiculous nature at times of those emos driving so much misinformation being justified because that's how you fucking feel. I ain't that great. I have tons of feelings. Like, I'm pretty pissed off I don't get to have equal access to human rights as non-autistics. Yeah, that's a pretty pissed off feeling. Anger is an emotion. And I'll say it again. This is going to end part one of this. We're going to go further into the emails that I sent on behalf of Emma, Domain, and I. The creation of Autistic Mom's Rise. The incredible successes that have come since then. And the absolute wonder of parents of autistics taking a stand with us. Actually, autistic and true autistic allies in the house standing together saying this is bullshit, this is abuse, stop making money and profiting off the autistic child abuse. It's fucked up and you're just going to spread this and have other people do it. And you can say that you're not telling them to do that, but you fucking are. You're outlining how it worked for you and how you ignored all the advice from the doctor. And we have people who are bleaching their kids. We have people who are giving them terrible things because their children are too autistic and they want them recovered. This is how that gets going. This prompts it. This is going to further justify these people's feelings about doing this to their children and make a greater wave. Autistic children are getting abused right now, and all you're doing is adding your exploitation and your fucking story of abuse to it to drive more of it. It's fucked up and it's wrong. So we'll talk more about this later.